right now in this very season, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. The same God who watched every tear fall from your eyes has now risen from his throne with power and authority. This is not revenge from your hands. This is not bitterness from your heart. This is divine justice moving on your behalf. Heaven has opened the records. Every hidden conversation, every act of betrayal, every attack sent against your destiny has been documented, and now God has filed a case against them. Chosen one, there is a reason this message found you today. It is because the battle you have been facing was never ordinary. People thought they were only attacking a human being, but they failed to realize they were touching someone protected by God. They saw your kindness and mistook it for weakness. They saw your silence and assumed heaven was ignoring you. But while they were plotting against you on earth, God was building a case against them in the spirit. Every insult they threw at you was recorded. Every lie spoken against your name was written down. Every sleepless night they caused you, every moment they tried to break your confidence, every attempt to stop your destiny, heaven saw all of it. And now the season of hidden evidence is over. Some of you have been asking God, why did you let this happen to me? You wondered why wicked people seemed to prosper while you suffered in silence. But God says the delay was not denial. He was allowing the truth to fully reveal itself. Sometimes God waits because he wants there to be no confusion when justice arrives. He allows people to expose their own hearts completely before he moves his hand. Chosen one, they thought your story was ending, but God says this is only the beginning of your vindication. The same people who ignored your tears are about to witness your elevation. The same mouths that spoke against you will one day speak about the miracle God performed in your life. Understand this deeply. When God files a case, no human power can overturn his decision. His courtroom is higher than every opinion, every false accusation, and every attack sent against you. What heaven declares becomes reality. Some people tried to assassinate your character because they were intimidated by your spirit. They noticed something different about you. Your peace bothered them. Your light exposed their darkness. Your presence reminded them of the calling they abandoned in themselves. Instead of healing, they chose to attack you. Instead of growing, they tried to destroy you. But God says they underestimated who walks beside you. Chosen one, there were moments when you wanted to defend yourself. You wanted to explain your side. You wanted to prove your innocence to people who had already decided to misunderstand you. But God held you back because he knew your silence would become evidence later. He knew the truth would eventually speak louder than your defense ever could. And now the shift has begun. The people who laughed at your struggle are entering seasons they cannot control. Suddenly things are no longer working the way they used to. Relationships are collapsing. Peace is disappearing. Plans are failing. Not because God is cruel, but because heaven refuses to allow evil to continue unchecked forever. God is not mocked. Chosen one, some of you survived betrayal from people you would have sacrificed everything for. Friends turned into strangers. Family members spoke against you. People you trusted used your pain as entertainment. And through it all you kept asking, God, why am I always the one suffering? But heaven says your suffering was not punishment. It was preparation. God was teaching you how to depend on him instead of people. He was strengthening your spirit for the level he is about to take you to. Because where you are going, you cannot carry the need for human approval anymore. Listen carefully. The attack was proof of your assignment. The enemy does not waste energy on people with no purpose. The reason your life has faced so much resistance is because your future carries power. There is something on your life that threatens darkness. There is a calling on your name that heaven intends to reveal. And that is exactly why they tried so hard to stop you. But they failed. You are still here, still breathing, still standing, still chosen. That alone is proof that God has been fighting for you behind the scenes. Chosen one, God says the tables are turning. The season where you cried in private while others celebrated publicly is ending. Now heaven is preparing a reversal so powerful that even your enemies will recognize the hand of God upon your life. Do not seek revenge. Do not lower yourself to bitterness. Let God handle what only he can handle. Some battles are too spiritual for human hands. Some forms of justice can only come from heaven. The people who wounded you thought they buried your future, but what they really did was plant you. And Paige. Planted seeds always rise again. This next season will confuse those who doubted you. They expected you to break, but instead you became stronger. They expected your faith to disappear, but instead your connection with God deepened. They expected isolation to destroy you, but God used solitude to transform you. You were never abandoned. You were being rebuilt, and now God is preparing to honor you openly. There are blessings coming into your life that no enemy can block anymore. Opportunities, healing, restoration, favor, clarity, all of it is being released because your season of surviving is turning into a season of rising. The warfare was intense because your breakthrough is massive. Some of you have felt spiritually exhausted lately. You have been carrying emotional pain nobody understands, smiling in public while secretly fighting battles in your mind. But God says your endurance has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has seen every silent prayer, every tear wiped away when nobody went. As watching every moment you chose faith instead of giving up, and now your reward is approaching. Chosen one, do not ignore this message. The shift is real. God is separating you from environments that drained your spirit. He is removing fake connections. He is exposing hidden motives. What feels painful right now is actually divine protection. Some people cannot go where God is taking you. The courtroom of heaven has already decided your future. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are chosen, protected, and covered by divine authority. And hear this carefully. God is not only defending you, He is preparing to elevate you in front of the same people who underestimated you. The betrayal was part of the testimony. One day you will look back and realize the rejection pushed you toward your purpose. The heartbreak forced you closer to God. The loneliness taught you your true identity. What tried to destroy you actually awakened you. That is why the enemy is nervous right now. Because despite everything they did, you are still becoming who God called you to be. Chosen one, stop doubting your worth. Stop questioning whether your life matters. Heaven would not fight this hard for someone insignificant. The attacks against you were proof of your value. Darkness only reacts strongly to people carrying light, and your light is becoming impossible to hide. The next chapter of your life will not look like the last one. God is restoring your confidence. He is healing your heart. He is renewing your spirit, and He is bringing justice in ways nobody can stop. People who dismissed you will suddenly remember your name. Those who betrayed you will realize too late what they lost. Those who tried to silence you will watch your voice grow louder than ever before. Because when God decides to vindicate someone, no force on earth can interfere. So hold your head high, chosen one. Do not fear the battle anymore. Heaven is already moving. The case has already been filed, and God never loses a case. Your tears were evidence. Your survival was evidence. Your faith was evidence. And now your victory will become evidence too. This is your confirmation that God is about to turn pain into power, betrayal into blessing, and warfare into testimony. The storm did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal the strength God placed inside you. You are walking into a season where peace will return, clarity will return, joy will return, and everything stolen from your spirit will be restored. And when it finally happens, everyone will know one thing. God Himself stood up and defended His chosen one. Chosen one, there is another truth you must understand before this season ends. Some people were never fighting you because of what you did. They were fighting you because of who you are becoming. Your growth exposed their stagnation. Your obedience exposed their rebellion. Your faith reminded them that God still chooses ordinary people to carry extraordinary assignments. That is why your presence made certain people uncomfortable without you even speaking a word. You walked into rooms carrying peace, and suddenly demons hidden in people began reacting. You tried to love sincerely, but they responded with jealousy. You tried to help them rise, but they secretly hoped you would fall. They smiled in your face while competing with your spirit behind your back. But hear this carefully, chosen one. God was watching the entire time, every manipulation, every hidden agenda, every silent attack sent against your destiny. Nothing escaped heaven's attention. And now, the same God who allowed you to endure the process is preparing to reveal why you had to go through it. You see, some lessons cannot be learned through comfort. Some levels of spiritual authority only come through surviving betrayal. God had to show you that people can disappoint you, but He never will. He had to remove the illusion that human validation defines your worth, because your identity was never supposed to depend on people clapping for you. You are chosen whether they celebrate you or not. And that truth scares the enemy. Chosen one, there are people who spent years trying to delay your confidence. They constantly criticized you because they knew if you ever fully realized your power, they would no longer be able to control you. So they attacked your self-worth. They made you question yourself. They planted seeds of fear and insecurity, hoping you would remain spiritually asleep. But God says you are waking up now. The version of you that tolerated disrespect is dying. The version of you that begged for acceptance is disappearing. The version of you that stayed silent while being emotionally drained is fading away. God is rebuilding you into someone stronger, and the people who benefited from your weakness will not recognize this new version of you. There is a holy fire rising inside your spirit, a boldness you ought to have before, a discernment that sees through fake love and hidden intentions. God is teaching you how to protect your peace without feeling guilty about it, because not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people were assignments sent to teach you boundaries. Chosen one of the hardest realities you had to face was discovering that not everyone who says, "I love you," actually wants the best for you. Some people loved your availability, not your soul. They loved your help, not your heart. They loved what you could do for them, but secretly resented the favor of God over your life. And when they realized they could not stop your destiny, they tried to damage your reputation instead. But God says your name is being cleared in the Spirit. There are conversations happening about you behind closed doors where truth is finally being revealed. People who once doubted you are beginning to see things differently. Hidden lies are collapsing. False masks are falling. And those who tried to paint you as the villain are becoming exposed by their own actions. You do not need to force vindication when God Himself is handling it. Chosen one, the pain you survived was not meaningless. Every tear carried purpose. Every lonely night carried transformation. Every moment you felt abandoned was secretly building spiritual endurance inside of you. Because where God is taking you, weakness cannot survive. You are entering a season where emotional chains are breaking. The fear of rejection is breaking. The need to constantly explain yourself is breaking. God is teaching you that peace is more valuable than proving your point to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop trying to convince blind people to see your heart. God already knows the truth. And heaven's opinion matters more than public opinion. There are some of you listening to this message who almost gave up recently. You smiled on the outside while internally fighting exhaustion, disappointment, and spiritual warfare. You questioned your future. You wondered if your prayers were reaching heaven at all. But God says He heard every word, even the prayers you cried without speaking, especially those. Chosen one, your survival has frustrated darkness. The enemy thought heartbreak would destroy your faith. They thought betrayal would harden your heart. They thought isolation would make you quit your purpose. But instead, it pushed you closer to God. And now the very pain designed to break you is becoming the source of your authority. You are no longer just speaking from theory. You are speaking from survival, from endurance, from experience. And there is power in a testimony that has been tested by fire. That is why people will begin to feel healing around your presence, because you carry scars heaven transformed into wisdom. Never be ashamed of what you survived. The battles you endured created strength inside you that cannot be purchased or imitated. Chosen one, God says. There are blessings being prepared for you in secret places right now. While people focused on attacking you, heaven focused on building your future. Divine connections are being aligned. Doors are being unlocked. Opportunities are approaching that will completely shift your life. And what makes this powerful is that nobody will be able to take credit for it except God. The same people who ignored your potential will suddenly witness your elevation. They will wonder how you rose after everything you faced. They will not understand how someone they tried to bury came back stronger, wiser, and more anointed. But you will know the truth. God kept you alive for a reason. You were preserved because your assignment is not finished yet. Chosen one, stop shrinking yourself to make insecure people comfortable. Stop apologizing for the light God placed inside you. Stop acting smaller than your calling just to avoid criticism. You were not created to blend into darkness. You were created to shine. And yes, your light will attract both admiration and warfare. But never dim yourself because of people who refuse to heal. God did not place greatness inside you so you could hide it. This next season requires courage. There are decisions you must make, environments you must leave, toxic patterns you must break. God is calling you higher, but elevation always requires separation. Some relationships cannot survive the person you are becoming, and that is okay. Not everyone assigned to your past belongs in your future. Chosen one, hear this deeply. The rejection was protection. Some people left your life because God knew they would sabotage where He is taking you. What felt painful was actually mercy in disguise. One day you will thank God for the doors he closed, because closed doors prevented spiritual destruction. There is a divine shift happening in your mindset right now. You are beginning to value peace over chaos, authenticity over popularity, purpose over temporary approval. And that transformation is changing everything around you. People can feel your energy changing. You are no longer chasing what drains you. You are no longer begging for what God already decided was not meant for you. And that is power. Chosen one, God says your tears have an expiration date. This season of confusion will not last forever. Healing is coming. Restoration is coming. Clarity is coming. The heaviness you carried for so long is beginning to lift. You are about to breathe differently again, laugh differently again, dream differently again. For too long, survival mode became your normal. You became so used to disappointment that hope started feeling dangerous. But God says hope is returning to your spirit. Do not fear joy. Do not fear new beginnings. Do not fear the future. The same God who carried you through the darkest nights will carry you into brighter seasons too. Chosen one, the enemy wanted you distracted by pain so you would forget your purpose. But heaven is reminding you who you are. You are not random. You are not an accident. Your existence carries divine intention. There are lives connected to your obedience. There are people who will heal because you refuse to quit. There are souls who will find hope because you survived your own storm. Never underestimate the impact of your testimony. Sometimes the reason you suffered so deeply is because your future assignment requires deep compassion. God allows certain battles so you can one day speak healing into others who feel broken. Your pain gave you language for wounded people, and that is sacred. Chosen one, as this new chapter begins, guard your spirit carefully. Not everyone celebrating you deserves access to you. Discernment will be essential in this next season. Some people only return when they sense God blessing your life. Do not confuse familiarity with loyalty. Pray for wisdom. Pray for discernment. Pray for peace. And trust God to reveal who truly belongs around you. The courtroom of heaven is still moving in your favor. Justice is unfolding in ways you cannot fully see yet. What was hidden will be revealed. What was stolen will be restored. What was delayed will arrive at the appointed time. God has not forgotten his promise over your life. So stand tall, chosen one. Stop speaking defeat over yourself. Stop rehearsing old pain. Stop expecting betrayal everywhere you go. Your future is not defined by who hurt you. Your future is defined by the God who kept you alive through it all. The next season of your life will carry peace that makes no sense, favor that cannot be explained, and blessings that will leave even your enemies speechless. Because when God decides to honor someone, no amount of opposition can stop it. And after everything you survived, heaven is saying one final thing to you tonight. The case has already been decided, and victory belongs to you.